nonfiction still. And because we just celebrated Martin Luther King Jr. Day on Monday, that we are going to learn a little bit more about him. So yesterday we took a little nonfiction text feature walk. We looked at some new things, and today we are going to look at the main idea of the book that we are reading. And remember that the main idea is what the book is mostly about. Now we can look at our headings, we can look at our title to help us out, but we really got to listen for and understand what the author is trying to tell us. What is our main idea that we're taking away? So we have our table of contents that help us find out the different topics and quickly turn to those pages. We have our glossary, which is in the back of the book, and guess what? We can find that on page 23. But as I read, I want you to listen for what is this book mostly about? What is Martin Luther King Jr. Day? MLK, which is how we abbreviate, that's just a big word for abbreviation. So we have M for Martin, L for Luther, and then K for King. So MLK Day is an American holiday. It is in January. It is on the third Monday. What do we celebrate? Dr. King led the civil rights movement. He wanted everyone to have the same rights. So this is a label telling us that this is Dr. Martin Luther King. We honor him. How? We help people. Dell and Ava paint a school. Tom builds a house. Wow, he works hard. We go to a food bank. We give food to those in need. We plant a tree. We pick up litter. So litter is trash. We go to a march. It is in memory of Dr. King. Look, Joe has a sign. So what they're talking about, I still have a dream. He made this really famous speech called I Have a Dream, and we're going to look at that in social studies. Anne reads a speech. It is called I Have a Dream. Dr. King wrote it. It gives us hope. We will always remember Dr. King. So this is the MLK Day of Service, so cleaning neighborhoods, feeding the hungry, painting schools, building homes. Here's our picture glossary, civil rights movement, I Have a Dream, litter, and food bank. So as I was reading through that, what do you think the main idea is of our book? Now, I know our story says holidays, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and we have to know what Martin Luther King Jr. Day is. But let's think about, what is this book mostly about? Is it mostly about Dr. Martin Luther King? We talked a little bit about him. So thumbs up or thumbs down. Do you think that this whole book is about Dr. Martin Luther King and who he is, what he did? I'm just going to flip through so you can make your yes or no. Now, for those of you that said yes, we only said 2 pages, or 4 pages, 4 pages out of our whole book. And our book is like 25 pages, were about what he did. So we have to know why we celebrate him before we can talk about what the rest of the book is discussing. So we have Dr. King led the civil rights movement where everybody had wanted everyone to have the same rights. So we talked about a lot how we honor him. So when we honor someone, we're doing something that Dr. King would do. So when you honor something, we do something that they would do. So helping people. So he really focused on helping people. It says we help people. And let's think of the different ways. We're going to come back to the different ways. But for our main idea, when you go into your Jamboard, it's already going to be there. We honor Martin Luther King. Oh, that needs to be a capital letter. Oh, let's talk about editing. L, because that is a proper name. We honor Martin Luther King Jr. in many ways. Now, that is our main idea. Now we have to talk about our supporting details. We have to take words from the text, sentences, and make them their own a little bit to help us support the idea that we honor Martin Luther King Jr. in many ways. Now, if we said that he led the civil rights movement. That's not how we honor him. We got to look back in our text and see how we honored him. So let's go back, because they spoke a lot about it. So we help people. So you can help people by painting a school, building a house, Habitat for Humanity, that's what's going on. Give food to those in need, plant a tree, pick up litter, go on a march, talk about our speech. So one of those details that we could use, what is one thing that you heard in that text that we could write as a supporting detail? Now yours might not be mine, but guess what? You're going to have to write your own as well. So my detail is going to be that we help people. Oops. So we help people. So we help. People by picking up trash. So let's phrase that in a different way. So we help people by picking up, there we go, trash. Sorry, Miss Marks thought she wrote something else. So we help people. So we honor him by helping people. So we help people by picking up trash. That supports our idea in that how we honor him. So we help people. You can say that we help people, but we're going to be specific and say by picking up trash and litter. And how does that help people? Well, it not only has trash everywhere or litter, that just doesn't make good things for our world, and especially when they decompose and they don't, and it's just a whole other situation. So what you're going to do is you're going to fill in another detail on your own. So maybe you talk about how you can march to stand up for your rights. That's how you can honor, how we honor Dr. Martin Luther King. You can look in the book, look for some other things as well. So writing your sentence in where it says detail number 2. So that's detail number 2.